Carlson and start with job numbers from the United States.
Yes, hi there, Francois. Hi there, everyone. The unemployment rate in the United States is heading higher. For February, the jobless rate came in at 6.7%. That's higher than the figure that we got in January. That was 6.6%. You would think that a higher figure is a disappointment, but that is not the case, at least not this time around. This as the U.S. economy added 175,000 jobs during February, which was higher than expected. Hiring is accelerating again after disappointing figures from January and December. There you see it there, 175,000 jobs added in February. 10 missing there, but I can assure you it is 175,000. Why then is the jobless rate heading higher even though there are more jobs? Well, a surge in the size of the labor force in the United States is seen as the main reason. People who may have stopped looking for work are starting to do so again, and that makes them a part of the labor force. Let's take a look at the latest stock market movements on the back of those figures. We saw a lot of enthusiasm in the markets as those jobless figures first came out, but that has fizzled out somewhat this hour, with the Dow Jones Industrial Average being the only index over in the United States in positive territory. In Europe earlier, the indices closed in negative territory. Meanwhile, this is the fears over geopolitical tensions between the West and Russia over Ukraine still linger. The Paris CAC 40 down more than 1%, whereas the Frankfurt DAX was down more than 2%, taking a real hit there. And if we look at the latest developments in the Ukraine crisis, Gazprom warns it could cut gas exports to Ukraine unless the country pays its debts. The Russian energy giant says Ukraine owes it nearly $1.9 billion. It brings back memories of 2009 when the gas giant cut exports to Ukraine over a pricing dispute. Europe also felt the pinch back then, as most gas from Russia to the continent go through Ukraine. Gazprom says the rest of Europe would not be affected in case it turns off the taps to Ukraine this time around. Meanwhile, the foreign minister of France has warned that Russia's economy will take a hit if relations with Europe deteriorate further. It's been a volatile week in the Russian stock markets, as you may remember, partly on concerns over Western sanctions against Moscow and Russia. Speaking on French radio, Laurent Fabius also outlined the steps that could be taken by the European Union looking ahead.
It could be freezing assets, it could be cancellations, it could be refusing visas, and if another attempt is made, we will consider other things. That's to say, serious consequences relative to the relationship between Russia and Europe.
Okay, that was Laurent Fabius speaking there. We're going to turn a page now. We're going to turn to an unsolved mystery that is about who started the virtual currency Bitcoin. The magazine Newsweek has said it's tracked him down in California, but Dorian Nakamoto doesn't like the spotlight and he denies having anything to do with Bitcoin. The question is, if not him, then who?
Shrouded in mystery, the identity of Bitcoin's creator has sparked all kinds of speculation. Is it a man, a woman, or even a group of people working under a single pseudonym?
Why did you create Bitcoin, sir?
Thinking they'd found their man, reporters surrounded the home of a 64-year-old Japanese American in Temple City, California.
Okay, I'm not involved in Bitcoin.
On Thursday, American magazine Newsweek published an article claiming that Dorian Satoshi Nakamoto was the digital currency's long sought-after inventor. The magazine claimed to have matched Nakamoto's name, education, career and writing style to those of the internet user who launched Bitcoin in a web forum in 2009.
I want big one.
Over a sushi lunch in Los Angeles, Nakamoto gave an exclusive interview to an Associated Press reporter denying Newsweek's claims.
The main reason I'm here is to clear my name that I have nothing to do with Bitcoin, nothing to do with developing. I was just an engineer doing something else.
Despite the denials, Newsweek are sticking to their story. Meanwhile, more intrigue was still to come. Later on Thursday, a new message appeared on the web forum used to launch Bitcoin 5 years ago. The message reading merely, "I am not Dorian Nakamoto." Operating without banks or credit card issuers, Bitcoin's become increasingly popular among tech enthusiasts and investors, as well as criminals like drug dealers. Bloggers speculate the currency's inventor is worth hundreds of millions of dollars in Bitcoin. Last December, the currency hit an all-time high, a single Bitcoin worth some $1,200 US.
Who indeed? We're going to turn to some news in brief next. French steel company ASCO Metal has gone into administration. The move comes as its owners failed to reach an agreement with banks to restructure its debts. Up to 1,900 jobs are seen to be on the line. It's seen as another headache for the French government as it looks to reduce jobless levels. ASCO Metal has been suffering due to the downturn in Europe, especially for car manufacturing. Video streaming website Netflix is looking to launch in France this autumn. That's according to the chief executive of Orange, Stéphane Richard. He says Netflix has been contacting Orange and other French telecom operators before its arrival. Netflix has been in talks with the French government over its European expansion. The government has insisted that it contributes to French film and TV making before letting it in. And the European Commission is planning measures to limit excessive pay packages for executives. That's according to the Financial Times. It says the Commission is working on a proposal that would give shareholders a greater say. It would also force companies to outline and justify the difference in pay between directors and regular workers. Okay, that is the business news for now. I'll be back in around about an hour and a half with more business headlines. Francois.
All right, many thanks for that, Marcus Carlson. Time now for sports and the kickoff of the Six Nations